Jafora Fox, let's talk business. And let's turn it up a notch. It's your time to shine with Jafora Fox. It's all coming together. Just keep your eyes on God and tune in. And let's talk with Jafora Fox. Hey, Jafora Fox. Jafora Fox.
Hello, hello, hello. God bless you. And thank you so much for joining the Jafora Fox Show. I am your host, Dr. Jafora Fox, and I am so excited. So say hello, and let me know that you are joining me. And make sure that you like, share, and tag. Let's do 3 people. Let's tag 3 people and let them know that the Jafora Fox Show is on. And welcome to my Facebook Live audience, Instagram, and YouTube. So God bless you all. God bless you. And thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, hello. And say hello when you're joining so that I know that you are joining with me. And I thank you so much for joining in. And I pray that your day has been great because we command our day to be great. Say hello, and let me know that you're tuning in tonight at Jafora Fox Show. And let me mention something that surprises many people. Sometimes clarity doesn't feel peaceful. Sometimes clarity feels uncomfortable. And if that's been your experience, nothing has gone wrong. Today, I'm going to explain why and what that discomfort is telling you. And I understand what that aha moment feels like. And it means it when you know that you have experienced that aha moment. And so tonight's episode is why clarity still feels uncomfortable and what that is telling you. So as you're joining in, say hello and let me know that you're here. And welcome back to the Jafora Fox Show. I am Dr. Jafora Fox. And hello, Instagram, FX Fitness join. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like, share, and tag others in the Facebook Live. And thank you so much. Thank you to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. If you're watching live or on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. And again, welcome back. As I said, the title of this episode is Why Clarity Feels Uncomfortable. And last week, we discussed how emotional overload can lead to clarity and what you can do to reset your thinking. Today is the natural follow-up because once clarity shows up, people often say, okay, I see it now, so why does it still feel so hard? And I tell you, I have experienced this. I am not telling you something that someone told me. This is a lived experience about clarity will still feel uncomfortable, in the beginning when you are trying to get clarity. God wants us to have clarity and direction for the season in our life. So hello, Terry Wise, lady, T Wise lady. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you. If you would like, share, and tag others in the Facebook Live, joining on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So thank you so much for joining. And that's what we're unpacking today. And here's the truth. Most people don't say out loud, clarity doesn't just give you information. It confronts attachment. When you get clear, you start to see what is going on. It's like, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. And I can see all the obstacles in my way. It's gonna be bright, sunshiny day. So that's what happens when you can see, you get clear about what is going on, and you're able to see what God is trying to show you for the next season of your life. And as I talked about, when you get clear, you see what's been misaligned, what's unsustainable, I tell you, and what you've been carrying out of obligation, not purpose. Are you carrying things just out of obligation and not purpose? the purpose and the plan that God has for you. And for high capacity people, that can feel unsettling. Not because clarity is wrong, but because it threatens patterns you've relied on for stability. It's patterns. And so I want you tonight to pause, right? So I take this pause. Discomfort after clarity doesn't mean you're confused. It means something is being challenged. And I see this most in people who are responsible, capable, and used to carrying weight, have a lot going on. And when clarity shows up, it doesn't just ask what should change. It asks, who are you without this role, this responsibility, this overcarrying? Who are you? Ask yourself that question. Who are you? And that's where discomfort enters. So clarity threatens three things for high capacity people. So I want you to get this. This is like so important. We talk about clarity. The first thing is those three things. Take those notes. The three things is identity. If I stop doing this, who am I? Well, I think that's a heavy one there, that identity. If I stop doing this, who am I? And then the next one is belonging. If I change, who might be disappointed? We go through this in our minds saying, you know what? If I get clarity, if I'm changing, I'm going to disappoint others. And then the third one is control. If I release this, what happens next? So it's identity. We talked about what I said, identity. It was three of them: belonging and control. Someone can put that in the chat if you are watching and able to do that. It's the three things that clarity threatens: your identity, your belonging, and control. Ooh, that's pretty heavy there. That is pretty heavy. None of that means clarity is unsafe. It means clarity is honest. We want to be honest. We want to be honest. We want to be honest. We're going into 2026. If you don't make the necessary changes and get the clarity and direction you need, it will just be another year. That's all. Same you, another year. And we don't want to continue in our life year after year, cycle after cycle, pattern after pattern, continuing to do the same things. And so we have fear or misalignment. Are you operating in fear? Or is that just misalignment? Let's do a quick proof of work exercise together. So grab a pen or open your notes or take some notes down because this will not take that long, but I want to make sure that you all get this, right? Because there's work that we, can do. And so I want you all to follow along with me. And before I go there, I'm gonna just take a pause and say hello to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, whether you're watching live or on the replay. If you would tag 3 people and let them know the Jafora Fox Show is on. I am your host, Dr. Jafora Fox, and thank you so much for tuning in on today, Tuesday. And so stay tuned. I'm gonna have some amazing nuggets for you. So you should be taking notes. So hello to Instagram. If you all are over there with me, say hello, Facebook and YouTube. And so now I want to talk about the 3 things. Got 3 steps that I want to go through with you. So if you grabbed your pen and your notes, because the first step is name the discomfort. So I want you to write this question at the top of the page. What feels uncomfortable now that I'm clear? If you're going through this clarity and asking God for direction and you want things to be clear and you're trying to seek God for what he has for you for 2026, what about that makes you feel uncomfortable? So you have to name that discomfort. So that's fear versus misalignment. And don't analyze it, just name it. And then you want to ask, yourself this: does this discomfort come from fear or from misalignment? And so I want to take the time to explain the difference. Fear usually sounds like this. So in your mind, if it is about fear, you want, what if I mess this up? What if people don't understand? What if I disappoint someone? That's fear talking to you when you're trying to make change and go and have clarity and direction. You shouldn't be going through those things in your mind, because that's fear trying to keep you from moving forward and doing what God has called for you to do. And then misalignment usually feels like tension, tightness, a quiet knowing that something no longer fits. And so we want to recognize these things, whether it's fear or is this from being misaligned, because we want to be aligned in this season. As we move into 2026, before we even get to that space, before we even get to 2026, let's start with 2025 and making sure that we're making these necessary adjustments in our life so that we can continue to do better and be better. And then the last step is the body check. Our bodies provide us with the signs and signals. And you want to just check to make sure, what is your body feeling? Because fear feels sharp and urgent, and misalignment feels heavy and draining. Do you feel heavy and drained? If so, it's because you are misaligned. You're not in alignment. Hey, Scooby. DJ Wright Music, thank you so much for joining in. So hello to you all for joining the Jafora Fox Show. Whether you're watching live or on the replay on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, we're talking about why clarity still feels uncomfortable. I want to make sure that we're clear about the directions that God has for us in this season. And so if you feel heavy and it is draining, then you are misaligned. And one pushes to rush. You don't want to rush what it is that God is doing. And the other asks you to realign. So you don't want to rush because that's in fear. And if you're misaligned, you want to be realigned into doing what God is calling you to do. Whether this is your relationship, business, whatever, your job, it doesn't matter. You want to be in alignment. And so this distinction, it does matter, because you don't resolve fear the same way you resolve misalignment. It's not the same. And so we want to make sure that we are not in that space of being misaligned. God has some great and mighty things in store for each and every one of us. And we want to make sure that we are operating in clarity and in direction. We want to have clarity and direction. Hello, Cecil. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining. So if you all would join, say hello when you join in, and then just tag 3 people and let them know the Jafora Fox Show is on. Yes, on a Tuesday. And because of Christmas, going to be Thursday. So Jafora Fox Show tonight. And stay tuned for some changes. I'll be talking about that coming up as well. And so here's another truth. People don't delay action because they don't know what to do. They delay action because acting on clarity often requires letting something go. You got to let something go. It could be a role, a pattern, a relationship, an expectation, or just a version of yourself that once kept you safe. Clarity asks for honesty. You got to be honest. Honest with yourself. Integration asks for courage. So you want to have honesty and you want to have courage. And so I just want to go through, it's the proof of work is what this series is called. And that the integration, that's the courage part, the courage it takes for you to make those necessary steps and do what needs to be done. So let's bring this into integration. And so the first thing is what clarity is asking for. Clarity is asking me to release. That's the question you want to ask yourself. What is clarity asking me to release? And then the next thing is, what you're afraid to lose. If I release this, am I afraid I might lose? And then the third thing is what you will actually gain. If I honor this clarity, I gain. And I'm going to tell you, if you honor the clarity, you will gain peace, alignment, or relief, not chaos. And so when you flow in this way, whether it's in your life, your relationship, your business, whatever it is that you're doing, your job, it does not matter. If you flow with honor to the clarity that you have been given, notice how often you gain the peace, the alignment, or the relief. It shouldn't be chaotic. You don't want to live in chaos. And so this is the point where people often say, I see it now, right? The aha moment I was talking about, but I don't want to navigate this alone. And so that's precisely what the clarity and direction call is designed for. It's a private clarity and integration space where we identify, you and I, where we identify what you're carrying, what needs to shift, and how to move forward without self-abandoning. That self-abandonment. And so you can go to my website. There is a QR code that you can click as well. And the clarity call that you can set up with me here is on the screen. It's Invest in Yourself. It's $247 for you to get the direction. I can guarantee you, I promise you, if you go through this clarity call, that you're going to get some clarity and direction for the next journey of your life. I'm just not talking about information just to be talking about it. This is lived experience. This is research. This is my educational background. This is what I do. And I promise you that if you go through this clarity and direction call, that you're going to receive the clarity that you need for the season. Also from a space of prophetic insight. And so you want to invest in yourself. The information is on the screen. I'm going to try to pin it to my Facebook so that you'll have that. But my website is jaforafox.com, and you will see that information on my website. I also have a link tree. You can go there as well. So I'm going to pin my website to the Facebook Live. And so if you're just now joining me, say hello and let me know that you are here. Send those hearts. And so I just pinned the comment for Facebook, and hello to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So thank you all so much for joining and being a part. So just say hello when you are tuned in. And I have pinned my website for Facebook, but it is www.jaforafox.com. So hello, Brother Clifford. Bless you, sir. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. So if you all would like, share and tag 3 people, let them know that Jafora Fox Show is on. And so I wanted to take some time because I believe one of the things I want to quickly elaborate on is self-abandonment and what that is. And self-abandonment is the habit of disconnecting from one's own needs, values, feelings, or boundaries to maintain peace, gain approval, avoid conflict, or feel safe in a relationship or environment. And it's not one-time choice. It's not a one-time choice. It's a pattern. And so you want to recognize the patterns in your life. If you want to do things different, you got to change the pattern and the cycle that you have yourself in. And so what it often looks like is saying yes when your body, your intuition, your discernment, or your schedule is screaming no. It's minimizing your feelings. It's not that serious. Over-explaining or justifying basic needs, staying silent to avoid rocking the boat, prioritizing others' comfort at the expense of your own well-being, losing clarity about what you want. And self-abandonment usually forms early, often when being agreeable felt safer than being honest. Love or approval felt conditional. You learn to read the room instead of listening to yourself. And over time, your nervous system learns my needs are negotiable. Other people's needs are not. And I want you to take some time, if you don't know, the nervous system. When your nervous system is out of whack, if it's high, it is really in a space that's not good. If you look up about nervous system, it will provide you with the information. You want to make sure that your nervous system is calm. And so you're not always on high alert. You're not exhausted. You're not filled with anxiousness. Your body is not numb. You want to make sure that your relationships are the best. And it's a cost for your nervous system being out of whack. It's a cost for you not having clarity and direction. And the cost is chronic exhaustion or resentment, anxiety, numbness, or a vague sense of being lost. Relationships where you're needed, but not deeply known or held. It's difficulty trusting yourself or making decisions. And so what I encourage you to do is pause before agreeing, naming what you feel without apologizing, letting discomfort exist without rescuing everyone, making choices that align with your values, even when it's inconvenient. And self-abandonment isn't a character flaw. It is a survival strategy that once worked and now deserves to be gently retired. So we want to retire that self-abandonment that you might be have done. Listen, I am guilty of being in that space, so I can tell you about what that is. It's a lived experience, self-abandonment. You don't want to, you want to make sure that you're not self-abandoning who you are. And so I want to leave you with this in my closing. And again, thank you so much to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you for watching. If you're watching live or on the replay, hello. And thank you so much for joining. And so I want to leave you with this. Discomfort after clarity doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It often means you're standing at the edge of alignment. And alignment isn't loud, it's steady. And so in this season of our lives, as we move into 2026, you want to make sure that you are operating with clarity and direction and that you are in alignment. It's not something loud that's going to happen for you, to you, miraculously just drop out of the sky. You have to make sure that you are clear in your mind. That's what clarity is, clarity in your mind, so that you can hear the directions and what God has for you in this next season. And I know that God has some great and mighty things in store for you. I know that He has some great and mighty things in store for me too. And I want to make sure that I stay in clarity, and I stay with clarity, not in clarity, with clarity, and in the direction that God has called for me. I don't want to miss what God is doing in this season, and I don't want you to miss it either. And so I am Dr. Jafora Fox, and thank you for listening to the Jafora Fox Show. If today's episode gave you the language for what you've been feeling, let that be enough, and take your next step when you're ready. And so thank you so much for joining. Dr. Val, I see you. Yes, clarity and direction. I need both. Yes, Dr. Val. We need to make sure that we are clear and going in the right direction. And when our minds are always so clogged, our minds are so filled with so many different things. And so if you're just joining, make sure you go back and watch the entire episode. It's why clarity still feels uncomfortable, because what that means is that once you find the clarity, it can be uncomfortable, because I promise you, you're going to discover some things, and it's going to tell you about and what that's actually telling you. You're going to discover some things. And so you want to make sure that you tune in and connect with me with your clarity and direction call. You can go to my website. And so I want to say Merry Christmas to you all. Have a wonderful night. God loves you, and I love you too. And so God bless you. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next show will be on Tuesday, December 30th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And next week, the show will be about what do you do next is the proof, choosing alignment over the familiarity. Familiar. We do things because it's familiar to us. And so we're going to talk about that. And that'll be the last part of the series that I've been on, talking about the proof of work, meaning you have to put in the work. And if you have not yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that's the Jafora Fox Show. And again, thank you so much for joining. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you, Brother Clifford. Thank you. Thank you. Growth happens at the edge of discomfort. Absolutely, it does. Yes, Val, Dr. Val, love you. And thank you all so much over here on Instagram. I love you all, Facebook and YouTube. And y'all have an amazing night. And if you tuned in late, just pop on and catch that replay. Definitely some great nuggets for you that's going to help you. So again, have a wonderful night. I love you. God bless.
Jafora Fox, let's talk business. And let's turn it up a notch. It's your time to shine.